Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Back for another daily update. Mostly daily. Thinking today I might just touch on my relationship with social media. I mentioned in some of the previous videos how my phone was, it died 4 weeks ago, whatever it was. And I was using a burner phone, which is actually the one I'm using to film right now. Now I've got my new phone, and I've started to dabble back into Instagram, and I haven't got on Facebook yet. But I wouldn't even say I'm using it as regularly as I was before my phone died. But I'm just starting to get in and check it a couple of times a day. Now, the thing I found the funniest was while I was not on Instagram, my self-confidence was just rose. Just humour in general was, through the roof. I would have, just talking to people in general, and I don't know whether it's when you're on Instagram, they're throwing all these thirst traps at you and you're walking around like you're a little fucking pervert or, something. Or if it's just constantly being shown these elite specimens that, you just made to feel diminutive. I don't know what it is, but it's not like I'm an 18-year-old kid, coming into my adulthood and, even a teenager, and, I've got this, my looks and my reputation is, they're all entwined. I'm a 41-year-old male. Hair's starting to make a slow retreat back. The best days are over for me, and I've accepted that. But, anyway, you can sort of see where I'm getting at. You get on Instagram for the smallest amount of time, and suddenly, that self-respect just starts to nosedive, and I think the more and more you do that, the faster that nosedive becomes. I think I'm just going to put a self-ban on Instagram from now on. I was having a great time. I was spending more time on YouTube, just doing self-education type stuff, and a lot of it, it's, there's a lot of recycled information on YouTube, but I feel like sometimes, listening to the same information over and over again is good to cement that in your brain. Sometimes you'll watch a 30-minute video and there's all this, such dense information that, it's sort of good to, have that followed up with shorts and, other people stealing each other's content. But yeah, it was just so nice and peaceful, not dipping into, number one, thirst traps, and number two, politics. Politics was starting to overcome my feed before I went away, and I fell into left-wing politics for quite a few years. I still believe in unionism, and I think there's a lot of merit to a lot of left-wing concepts, but I've had a rightward turn in recent years, mostly more to do with giving up the booze, living a bit more healthily, and my natural testosterone doing a upward climb. So I find it pretty hard to identify with left-wing, a lot of the left-wing politics these days, when you've put a lot of work into self-improvement to sit there and be jealous of someone else who has something that you don't have. It's simply, yeah, sure, there are some people out there who, they're tipping the scales a little. They've got their finger on the scales, trying to make things harder for those below them. They're pulling up the ladder to stop those behind them climbing up. But look, the majority of people that are successful are there because they've fucking put the effort in. I heard this is devolving into politics. I don't know why, but anyway, yeah. Politics goes both ways, and it's a murky, it's a you start delving into it, and it's like a weight on your shoulders, and like you've got a huge fat woman sitting on your chest, and you're just trying to breathe. That's what getting into politics is like. So anyway, I don't know where I was going with that, but speaking of Instagram particularly, and Facebook gets me even worse. I find it quite easy to avoid Facebook these days, but when I do get into it, it's the biggest time sapper of my life. So that was a big rant. I didn't come with any solutions there, but I just a few mere observations that I've made over how Facebook and how social media in general makes me feel. So yeah, today is a beautiful day to be alive. It's 19th of September 2025.